Assalamualaikum.
Merhaba.
Khushamedid.
Hoş geldiniz.
Welcome to our YouTube channel, Miyaan
Biwi
Aur
TV.
Welcome guys to our another
Review episode.
Yes, drama review in which kind of sadly, I feel sad about this that we will today be doing our final review
Of Meem Se
of
Mohabbat.
Meem Se Mohabbat. So
Yes.
this review is going to be Meem Se Mohabbat heavy.
Yeah.
But stay tuned because we have Meem Se Mohabbat, we have Parwarish, a new drama started. And what are our thoughts about Parwarish? You will see. And then
Dayan.
everyone's favorite, Dayan. And was I being sarcastic?
We don't
Tell
know.
in the comments. So yes, Meem Se Mohabbat. Should we start right off?
We can start with
Yeah.
Meem Se Mohabbat.
So Meem Se Mohabbat, last two episodes, last week of Meem Se Mohabbat, our beloved characters, Talha, Roshi, the two most
Yeah.
of course, and of course the other characters, the family. I mean, we didn't see much of that, but we will talk about that. So what is your feeling? I will start with mine because my husband just took a chocolate in his mouth, so I'll give you time to chew that. He loves chocolate. So, Meem Se Mohabbat, very sad that it ended, but I think they did justice to what every fan wanted. This show from the very onset was a romantic comedy.
Yeah.
It was a light-hearted show. You were never meant to take it very seriously. There weren't supposed to be many intense, even though there were some very scenes that you kind of made you emotional because they were acted so well, especially when Roshi's heart was broken and even in the second last episode we will talk about that. But overall this was just with its comedy elements, with the side characters, and even with this main story, this was supposed to be a happy-go-lucky kind of a show. And every week I felt like it was a breath of fresh air because most of the other dramas on the TV
We
right
like
now,
more, I guess, Meem Se Mohabbat.
yes, and
I
most
can
of the
say.
other dramas are very intense storylines or
Yeah.
very realistic
This is
or
more
very
light.
over dramatic.
This is more light and
This was just light. So
kind of, again, I will mention the same show, very filmy. Again.
yes, very filmy type, but
Yeah.
that's like a Ramadan
No, that
genre.
was more comedy. This
Yes.
is not that much comedy,
Yes.
but this is still light, very light. It
But I
was.
like this more because this has more realistic, and very filmy went very filmy. It was
Yeah.
very unrealistic in many
True.
of its aspects.
This
And it
is
was a
more-
Ramadan show.
This was nicer.
A very good show with very good actors. Ahad Razamir and Danani Mobeen, they did an awesome job, and we will talk about that. So you share your thoughts.
Yeah, I mean, I liked the show, I can say. From the beginning to the final episodes, it was all nice. First we were thinking Roshi was so childish in the first episodes, but then she became more serious. But then she was doing actually so bad thing about marrying Sharik Arslan. So but then we saw Talha kind of rescued her, and the story was, I feel one thing just I felt a little Roshi's plan was a little, I think,
Childish.
It was like killing someone with chemical, some chemical stuff, and hair dryer killing, so. But still, those were a little in comedy. It was nice, I can say. It was all I can say the story is almost complete. I mean, we know some people might right now ask for season 2, maybe some they can ask. But still, I like the show. This can be enough for the show. I mean, there can be, of course, many episodes to come for the maybe next season or something. But still, I like the show.
Yeah. I don't think I think I have been satisfied with the ending.
I have been satisfied.
So there is no
also.
craving of another season. I think it beautifully ended. They literally gave a one whole episode to romance, which we will talk about. But anyways, like you said, I just want to touch upon one thing you said. You said it started off with Roshi being very childish, very immature, but I think it ended like that. So
Again,
instead we thought maybe Talha's character would make her more mature, but I think she made Talha's character more like her, more playful towards the end. So she was more influential in that aspect. So yeah, love this show. So there is my heart, our hearts for this show. Duck, duck, duck. So yes. So first, second last episode number 32 ends when Roshi overhears Talha and Dada Jan over the phone talking about what had all happened, that they had kidnapped Sharik and now it's time to maybe return him. Dadaji says that, I know Talha, you are very angry, but his mother didn't do anything, so why make her suffer? Let's return, like, give him back, like, let's return Sharik to his house. So that scene Roshi overhears, but before that she says anything, we just see that Talha and Dada Jan take Sharik back, and I thought Sharik's mother's acting, the actress who played that role, did very well. She was very like crying and ashamed, and she said, you did right. Right? What
she
did
slept,
you think?
right? Arsenal under the Sharik, I guess.
So, yeah.
It was like the acting was nice.
Yeah, Sharik didn't say anything. He just kept looking down.
Yeah.
So, but I don't. What could he have said? Like, but his mother was very. She said.
Yeah, he knows what he did, of course. So this was very much big something.
Yes. Also, but one thing she said. Yeah, you're right. She slaps. I just saw it in my note. I wrote she slaps the life out of him. I don't know why I wrote that. Was it that hard? I don't know. Maybe they compensated for the fake beating in the previous episode. They said, let's make this slap more realistic.
True.
Remember that, like...
Yeah.
Anyways, yes, I was going to say, so Sharik's mother says one thing. She says that, Sharik, don't you have any, like, didn't you think of your own mother, your sister, if someone had done this to your mother, your sister blackmailed? Yeah, and then I'm like, very conveniently, Sharik's sister came. We never saw Sharik's sister anywhere. It was only Sharik's dad, who was in a different country. Sharik's mother and Sharik. I never saw any sister anywhere. So I thought just to make the dialogue maybe more intense, impactful, they added a sister. So that was like, there was no need. Like, why only men should care when they have a sister or a mother?
Yeah.
First of all, every person has a mother, but you are human beings, so you should just have human decency, even if you have woman or no woman in your life. So, like I was saying, then angry Roshi, like an angry bird, she confronts Talha and she says that you betrayed me, not basically betrayal, but you tricked me, and that I want a divorce, a talaq, I will take a khula, so I'm going, and he's like, don't be bewakoof, don't be pagal, like he kind of speaks loudly, also shouts at her, and then Talha's father and Mohit become aware that something's going on, like conflict between the two. So they also become aware downstairs. But so she's very, like, where she here says something which I found was a little unfair. Okay, we understand she's very angry, she's very emotional, so maybe you can say these things. People do that when they're emotional. She makes a comparison between Sabika and Sharik. She says that Sharik was my choice. I wanted, you also wanted to marry Sabika. I guess she
felt like he's controlling her life more, because when first, like, we saw he was more like she was loving him, but he kind of was more into Sabika. Actually, he wasn't more into, but we know, like, his thoughts were like that. So she feels like he actually rejected first, then she got fired from the job, then now she wants to do something independently. Also, he is not allowing that also now. So I feel like I guess this kind of not ego maybe, but like it some is, I think, ego, like we can say maybe
self-respect. Like, you are interfering into my life and you have a hero complex. You wanted to be a hero in front of everyone.
She felt that, I guess, because of that mostly. But the divorce was too much, like, exaggeration.
It was too much. That divorce thing was a little like, maybe she can be angry, okay, I'm leaving you and I'm going to my parents forever, you can say. But divorce suddenly is too big.
It was too big.
Yes, and especially in our culture, we know it's a big thing. Sometimes we shouldn't, some situations, of course, we should definitely encourage people to get out of toxic relationships, but this situation didn't warrant that. But again, I think because of her emotional immaturity, she says such big things. I mean, she was ready to marry Sharik, so, like, Anyway, so then she goes down in anger and she's like, I'm leaving. She tells uncle, he says, beta, like, calm down, let's talk it over, don't be. She says, no, I'm leaving, I'm sorry. She says to Mohit also, and Mohit is like, Rosh, but he's crying. Here I will say,
then it was nice scene.
I forgot to write the name of the boy, but his acting.
Yeah.
He runs after Roshi because he's like has speech issues, so he's running, so he's not saying anything. It was like a little Bajrangi Bhaijaan moment. You know, remember where the girl is like, she's mute in the whole movie.
She was
then like she's like, what does she call Salman Khan? Something, I don't know, Munna or something. And in this, it was the same.
Yeah.
But the acting.
But Mohit was of course speaking, but like he had some issues.
Yes, yes.
Like,
but he speaks the whole sentence. He says that please don't go, right?
Don't go. Or Roshi Mama.
Yes, he starts with Roshi Mama, Rosh Mama.
Rosh Mama.
Rosh Mama,
it was, his acting was thumbs up. It was superb. Those cute fat tears in his eyes, his quivering, I was astounded by the acting by this little guy. I would love to mention his name. We can mention. Good job, dude. Yes. You did a very good job. I literally felt your tears and I was feeling emotional for you. So I think that was so good by him. What do you think?
Yeah. No, I agree with you. Right? Definitely.
Yeah. Because in dramas usually, or even movies, child actors are a little tricky. Sometimes
also,
you get awesome performances.
Sometimes in behind, like,
yes.
He was almost like a main character in the show. He was almost like.
And sometimes it's like a lot of sound is coming and they hide their faces because no tears are coming. So they're like, they're doing this. But you could see those tears on on his face. So, so Roshi says, okay, I will stay. But to Talha, she says, I will only stay for the night. I'll go in the morning. And then she goes in the morning before actually anyone wakes up. She goes to her house and there she sees Dada Jan and she's angry. Again, angry bird Roshi. Dada Jan, you betrayed me. Aapne mujhe dhoka diya, she says. And then we see the flashback of the whole planning.
Yeah.
Yes. So what do you think? Do you think because Talha found out at the very last hour what's going on, and then Dada Jan found out at the very last hour that their planning was more justified now? Because at that time, you remember, we were like, what kind of, like, how did they end
Just one thing I felt like how the Dada Jan directly believed him. So that was the kind of a question for me. Other than that, like, the old things almost justified, but in the last day of the wedding, like in the wedding day, it's so hard something like, even, you know, sometimes I don't know in Pakistani weddings, but sometimes you write names. What if, like, you wrote Arsalan, then Talha is coming, like, it's a little bit like, people are gonna say, wasn't it Arsalan, but like right now somebody else came.
Yeah, they didn't actually very conveniently show that. But so, as I was saying, one thing I liked when they showed the whole flashback, okay, it was just the 11th hour, so everything happened very fast, haphazardly. Dada Jan and only Dada Jan and Talha knew what was happening. They were in the plan. No one else knew. And Dada Jan asked the questions that we were wondering, like, what will happen? What will happen to Roshi? Then what I like that instead of Dada Jan asking Talha, you know, which wouldn't have matched Dada Jan's character because he's shown as very like more progressive, that Talha, okay, then marry my daughter Roshi because of respect. Talha says, Dada Jan, I want to marry Roshi and I love yours, so with your permission I will marry Roshi.
अगर आपकी रज़ामंदी और इजाज़त हो तो आज आयत से मैं शादी करना चाहता हूँ. मैं उसे बहुत चाहता हूँ.
So Talha offering that finally also answers the question that he didn't just marry Roshi because he was asked by Dada Jan, for example, or he himself wanted to, and finally maybe his heart, it felt right in his heart that okay, kismat is like, you know, maybe he understood finally that of course Sharik does not deserve Roshi, and then they were meant to be together. I think, I mean, it's a lot of, we are inferring this, but he said that I want to marry Roshi, so that was nice for me. It gave me satisfaction, you know.
True. He wasn't forced, or he wasn't like, you know, in this situation, because we saw like he was like a kind of hero. He was more becoming like a hero. So like we saw like that, but actually he wanted this. So it is nice to understand that actually we like he also in his like with his like self. What can I say, with his self? Like,
by himself. Yeah.
Like,
yeah, true. So that was cute. That was nice. So basically this flashback ends, and then Dadaji actually says a very beautiful lines. He says that we brought up you, Roshi. She said, Dadaji, don't think of me wrong that I went with Sharik to the party. He said, but I do think you are in the wrong.
Because why didn't you tell us?
Yes, exactly. He says, not because you went to the party or anything, because why did you kept this? Family.
He was saying, even if you kill someone, please like kind of inform us.
Yes.
Because no one will be with you, but we will always be with you, because like it's family.
Like Vin Diesel said.
Family.
Dadajan and Vin Diesel agree on this. And I agree with both of them.
Yeah.
Family always first. So he said, तुम्हें पढ़ाया लिखाया इतमाद दिया. So what was all this? Like पढ़ाया, like we educated you, we gave you trust, confidence. So why you should have told us the first, like, you know, even if they in the beginning might have been disappointed, but they would always look out for her. Yeah, that was the word I was looking for. And so so very nicely, and then at the end Talha comes and Roshi is now smiling, and he says that, Dadaji, did you just fix it for yourself?
Yeah.
You know, and that's, don't worry, I also fixed your situation.
Then he was pushing them like to go to their own house.
Yeah, and a cute like romantic moment where he puts his arm around Roshi's shoulder. Okay, I am a girl, so I notice these things more than my husband. But he like,
yes, I remember,
you know, lack of words, but very cute. End of the second last episode, and now to the last episode.
The last episode. Da-da-da-dum.
Last episode, all in all, was just a romantic episode.
Yeah.
Which, and then, did you enjoy? You can be honest. Be honest.
Of course, I will always be honest, like in our video and to our like audience, of course. The thing is, I felt a little bit, this episode was, I don't want to say boring, but like there was not much action, that was so much dialogue. Actually, I know so much people waited maybe for this moment to come. So I'm not saying anything else. It was very nice to see them happily together. Like the beach scene, we will come, I know, like soon to that scene also. It was nicely, the episodes, but just it was a little bit like with more dialogue and more like, we already know romance. We know like they are okay right now, like happy. Yeah. So it was just a little bit like, it felt a little like a not long episode, but just I will say too much maybe romance, but no, I will say again this thing. I don't want to say directly like too much romance, because I know so many people maybe wanted these things because from the start. Now finally they are together.
Yeah.
Finally they are together, and finally they are happy. So every time there was something like Sabika came, Sharik came, other people, etc. Now they are happily together. So I will just say like it was still nice episode. I liked. But I, of course, while watching, I told you, like, if I sleep, wake me up. So it was a joke. I'm joking. So that was all. Yeah.
Besides me, Adam was doing fake snoring. So only to like annoy me a little.
Yes, of course.
But he was watching.
Yes.
For me, as a woman, as a girl, I'm still a girl. Please. Yeah. I think for all the girls out there, even like older women, younger girls, it was kind of like their demand, their wish, and it came true. Because most of the times in movies but mostly in dramas, there's so much just happening stuff to keep the two main leads, romantic leads, away from each other, that usually in the last drama we get, until the last drama there is like climax, what is happening, they are separated, just one like ending scene, we see them, okay, they are together, and then 5 years later they have kids and they are happy. So you don't get to see much romance. As a now happy married couple, you see some romance when they're in their girlfriend boyfriend stage. No, I'm not saying to. I'm just saying
I'm happy with this episode.
Yeah. So for me, it was an overdose of romance, but I am happy with this overdose.
No, I also liked it. Yeah.
Sometimes, it's good. So I think it was very cute. There was the car scene where she tells all her plan. He's like, so what were you actually planning to do? She said, oh, do you think I am such an immature? I would have taken care of it myself.
I did my homework.
I did my homework. I was gonna poison him, and the police wouldn't have been able to find poison in his body, because he said, how would you have gotten away with it? Then she said, I would have electrocuted him.
Marshall, she explained all the things, and in the room she was also explaining these things. So Talha was like getting scared a little, like with fear. You are not gonna kill me, right? Kind of.
So it was a very cute exchange of conversation. It again shows Roshi's immaturity, that she really was gonna do these things, and of course she wouldn't have gotten away with it, but okay.
On her iPad, really, she was writing these things.
Yes, and she was also packing these things. She called her chemistry friend and all that. Before we continue with Roshi and Talha, let's just interject here that the neighbor scene, like I said, the brother mafia bro became Haji Bro. Haji Bhai from Mafia. But instead of like the family being happy about it, he was actually hurting the business because he was too honest. He was too honest. The guy was saying, this is wood, but he said, oh no, this is not wood, this is that other material, the name I forget. So
we need more honest sellers like him. Like, of course there will be not much business, but
in business, honesty is usually not that less. I'm advocating for like lying and stuff, but this was like, okay, cute. And then Puppo scene came where Puppo was saying, okay, I finally realized now this will be a marriage of equals, but she says, so you will wash the dishes, I will put them. You will do the cooking, I will something like you will do the laundry, I will hang the clothes.
I will hang them, etc. So he was like a little bit what then she said like, you will take care of me, I will take care of you. So
but it's cute because it's still comedy in there. It's cute because she couldn't have just changed like in a
of course I wasn't expecting that.
Also like, this is comedy, so they just let it be there. She said that you will do basically the heavy loading, I will just do whatever is left. So that was cute. And she said no more like flirting with other women.
Of course,
that is important. So so both those side stories also came to their conclusion nicely. So going back to our favorite Talha and Roshi. So Roshi explained her plan. Talha was like, you are very he says these things, that you are very Bewakoof, Jazbati, Pagal. Bewakoof is like silly, stupid. Jazbati is emotional. Pagal is mad. But you are mine. But to me, you are my dear, my dearest. तुम मुझे बहुत प्यारी हो. So it was so cute. It's cute. Like, no, it was more, the romance between them wasn't very like, ooh, romance. It was like kuchu romance, which suited them. So add them again, his face is like...
No, I agree with you actually, honestly. Right? I can't say anything because this show was whole like with Talha and Roshi, even in...
A very family show.
Yeah, in the intro even they are like dancing with the rain and stuff. So of course we were expecting some like this, but the whole episode, this was like whole their happiness about their like how they are together, like talking and like sharing something. We will come to that point. He was sharing some
actually we
personal
came
details.
So he takes her on a surprise, gives her a surprise. They go to a beach house, which is their mini honeymoon place, and there again he's being very cute, and then there comes a vulnerable moment on the sofa where he says to her that my life was scattered. मेरी बिखरी हुई जिंदगी में खुशियाँ बिखेर दी. Like in my scattered life, you scattered happiness in my scattered life, खुशियाँ. So, and there he shares how he could never share his grief with Talha, of course not with Mohit, with his dad, and of course not with Mohit. So finally he shared it with Roshan. She's the only person she shared. And he also talks about how Sabika always said that you have more guilt, you could never love someone because you are always filled with guilt. And Mohit
also with Mohit, like you cannot, you are not loving him, like something like that. You
cannot love another girl because of Mohit.
No, another girl because of Mohit. Also, I guess not with full heart. You are not loving Mohit with full heart or something. She
because
was
you
like,
have guilt.
She said, I guess, to him also.
So I think that was cute, him being vulnerable, and then Roshi tells him that these things happen and a very horrific thing happened in your life and you didn't have anyone to share, but now I am here. And another beautiful thing she says, that you have Mohit. He is the most beautiful nishani, the most beautiful like product of or gift from your brother and your bhabi, your sister-in-law. So he is there. If he already loves Mohit and takes care of him, but he can always honor their memory with Mohit, you know. So I think that was very nice. So that moment was super cute. And one more thing I would like to add about that very cute sofa, vulnerable therapy, catharsis kind of scene and romantic was that the way it was set up. So they were sharing one blanket on a sofa, very nice. Usually you are like sitting upright and the heroine and you are being sad, but it was very them relaxed in a casual setting on the sofa, and she had her hand, her face on his face, right? On his knee. No, she put her face on Talha's knee, Roshi. So I think that was such a cute vibe.
I was saying she didn't. She put his he was doing something like this.
He also did this, but she put her face on his knee. So it was very cute, like very cute romantic moment between them. Then there's another moment where they are sitting in the night outside the house, and the sea is behind them, and there are like birds, I think the seagulls in the water. So they are looking very pretty, the seagulls in the background, and they are again having a cutesy romantic moment where he says basically, I was afraid to confess my love for you because of Mohit, mostly he was saying, so that's why I hesitated, but I loved you. And she says, I love you. But
she was saying before that, she was saying you wouldn't marry me, I guess, like some
if it wasn't for
for the Sharik
incident. So he said, she says that. So that's again a cute exchange between them. And then
the final
scene, the full circle moment. It all started when she was very Roshi was very heartlessly rejected by Talha at the beach, and he fired her, and we go back to the beach with that drone shot coming in, very nice, the same kind of moment in the day, time in the day, and she is in the sea smiling and ding like the previous scene, and then Talha comes from behind her and kneels down with a ring and basically proposes to her.
अंदर के किनारे अब अपनी मोहब्बत और अपना आप तुम्हें देना चाहता हूँ। आए मैं तुम्हें दिल और जान से चाहता हूँ। क्या तुम जिंदगी भर मुझे कबूल कर सकते हो?
There was just that subtitle I was saying, like he was calling her Roshi, and like there was a subtitle, oh Sir Talha, like there is no need for like Sir, so it can be a mistake, but
but if it was from the previous scene, there it makes sense. She would have said, oh Sir Talha.
Oh Sir Talha, but like was she turning like that in the?
I think there also she was first there, then he comes from behind. It was like this. I don't know. So it was very like romantic, him kneeling down, proposing with a ring, even though they're married.
She said, I already accepted you as my...
But he again says, because their marriage didn't happen in the usual circumstances, so he fully redeems himself. He himself, Talha says, at this very place, I rejected you very brutally, like I was cruel to you, but now I want to say that will you accept me, because I love you with my dilo jaan, means with my heart art and life. So will you accept me? And she says that I've already accepted you.
Yeah.
So there they have their happy ending, and we zoom out, and the music is playing, the OST which we love.
Before forgetting, actually, I was gonna mention that I really liked but not the main OST.
No, I know, yes.
There was we can put maybe in the video right now, like there was literally very nice music, the soundtrack I really liked. When the very serious, some scenes, it was playing.
It was like violin or piano, some orchestral,
yes,
right?
orchestral. It was so nice.
Very good job to
I
the
really,
music
really
department.
liked with the music. Yeah, it's very, very nice. It was. I want to mention this because I was actually like hoping to not forget this to mention, so I am glad like I mentioned this also. Yeah.
So yes, excellent, satisfying ending. Everyone should be very happy. They addressed every question. The shadi question. Some people were a little confused. How can they? How is shadi justified in this kind of situation? But Dada Jan and the flashback pretty much explain everything. Then Roshi's suspicions about, not suspicions, but her narazgi, her being upset was fine. Then also that finally Mohit recovered from his speech impairment. Very Bajrangi Bhaijan scene, so that came true, but excellent acting. And their romantic, cute declarations of I love you, never leave me, I will never leave you, we will be always be together, romantic lines. Very Jane Austenish ending, very old Dhoop Kinare ending. It was a Dhoop Kinare was an old Pakistani 90s show, which came I think before I was born, but I watched it and I really love it. Anyways, that's just so excellent job. Let's do a little clapping.
Clapping for that.
Meem Se Mohabbat. Good job.
2 thumbs up I'm giving. 4 thumbs up.
Very happy and a heart.
Yeah. So that's all for
Moving
Meem Se
on.
Mohabbat. Moving on to
a new show called Parwarish.
Parwarish. Yes.
So
So
a new drama on ARY Digital, Parwarish. It comes on Mondays and Tuesdays, 2 times a week. Episode 1 and episode 2 we will be reviewing today. So initial thoughts about Parwarish.
it's nice. The show is, I
Yeah.
can say generally.
Yeah.
For now it's going nicely.
Yeah.
Just the character names I need to learn more actually. It's just started.
It takes
will
a few
take some time.
episodes to learn the names.
But that boy,
There's so many characters.
that boy is so battamizi. So
Samir.
What was this? Samir. Yeah, Samir. So,
yeah.
but it's cute actually. Honestly,
Yes.
the show is right now. We will see, of course, more like when the more upcoming episodes when they come. But still, I feel like I like the show in 2 episodes. It was like again light, not very serious.
Not in the genre of Meem Se Mohabbat light, but more like family drama.
Yeah.
Right. So this Parwarish, which means upbringing, is a drama, as I think it will be, about the problems that the youth face, the conflicts the kids of this generation have with their parents, who are of course of an older generation naturally. If they are if their bringing has been done in a foreign country, especially a Western country, and if they have to come back to Pakistan and adjust, how the dynamic will be.
From America, United States, they were coming.
So here we see 2 families. So in this, there's the actress Aina. I need to really write down these names. I'm sorry, but we have Noman Ejaz, we have Savera Nadeem, and the other 2 main leads, the young kids. We will mention their names. So we see 2 families. So there is this family in which we have a grandpa, Dadaji, Dadi Jan. Then we have Suleiman, who is the father. Then his wife, whose name is Pana. They have a son, Samir, and Amal. Amal is doing medicine, so she is a very like nerdy, bookworm, very mehanti, hardworking girl. I guess by these episodes I
Yeah.
understood that. And Sameer, who is a very like playing on PS5
Yeah.
kind of like, not very non-serious teenage boy. He actually reminds me of my brother Momin. Not because he's not serious, but because of some of the vibes, how he smiles and makes those naughty like annoying
Expressions.
and yes, so I felt I saw my brother, my youngest brother in him. So there is this family. Then there's another family in which we have the girl. Actually, that family we haven't been introduced still
Not
in
much.
2 episodes. Just we
Yeah.
know that the girl is studying and she is going for tuitions and she is friends with Amal, the girl from the
Yeah.
other family. This is all we
Yeah.
know. But she's very blunt and very confident, very like, she's not a meek girl like, oh, please. She's very like, what is the thing, quippy, or is the word, I don't know, but like she snaps at you.
Yeah.
So okay, so this is the a little bit of the families, but more going back to the family that I was mentioning before of Amal and Sameer. So Suleiman is the father of these kids. He has a younger brother who lives with his family in America, and they come back. That character is played by Noman Ejaz. His name is Jahangir, and his wife is Savera Nadeem, whose name is Mahnur. They also have 2 kids, one daughter Anya and one son Wali. So now Wali is the main character, the boy lead. He is a very okay. So they have come back from America.
Yeah.
Why have they come? We don't really understand. We know, okay, he
You don't know
says...
the actual reason
Yes. He says he sold his business.
Yeah.
And he says also there wasn't... family values in America are not the family values in Pakistan. There's a lot of education.
So she sends iPhone.
Yes.
Sorry.
Yes, I am going
iPhone
a little
16 Pro, they were saying.
So we will discuss that dynamic that, okay, we can discuss it right now since you mentioned iPhone. He sends iPhone to his parents and they are all like, oh, this is 7 lakh rupees in Pakistan, and they are, And the other brother, on the other hand, Suleiman, he brought pears for his father, but he doesn't give them because he sees them really going all bonkers.
What?
Over the iPhone. Like, whoa, how do you do what? So basically we see a little dynamic which reminded me of Kabhi Main Kabhi Tum, where the mother was a little biased towards her more wealthy son. It's not exactly like that, but we see that the brother or the son who is coming from America and his family, she kind of favors them more. For example, she says to Sameer, her grandson, to give the room to her American grandson. She says, give him your room, you can sleep in the drawing room. But why? Share the room, you are a guest. And she says another dynamic where their daughter is a vegetarian, which is also what? Vegetarian in Pakistan. It's like it's a very...
They said vegan but vegetarian actually, right? Because she wasn't eating any
they said vegetarian, but she also doesn't eat...
sorry, it was like something we talked about this.
Yes. She said, I'm a vegetarian, but I also don't eat eggs and yogurt. So that's a vegan, not a vegetarian. When you don't eat any animal products also.
Yeah.
Because vegetarians do consume animal products, just not meat. So anyway, so they are very astonished. So she has a special diet.
Special diet.
And then, so basically what we are seeing right now in these 2 episodes, mainly we are focused on the dynamics, the adjustment issues of a foreign family and of the family who they are like living, basically the 2 brothers and their kids. The children there, they need privacy, but of course this house is, you have to accommodate these people. Then they have more money, so there's a little jealousy issue, right?
But we still right now we don't know if they have really more money because
but they have dollars, so
but like still we don't know what happened and they came back to Pakistan.
He said he sold his business,
but actual reason might be something else. I am feeling there is something they are not mentioning.
But I don't think it's money issue. To me, I didn't think it's financial. To me, I think it's some incident happened.
Might be.
So mystery.
Yeah.
So what did you think of the fact that the brother Suleiman, who's in Pakistan, lived with his parents, I guess, all his life?
Yeah.
He is a little too sensitive about his parents, especially his mother, being a little biased towards the American brother, right? You felt that? Yeah.
True.
I think it's very, and they portrayed it very nicely. He complained to his mother a little. He said that his wife, Pana, she's the one thing I liked about this drama. I know we are a little all over the place. We will get more organized with the coming episode. I liked is that it's not very in your face kind of. No one is very battamiz with each other. No one is very, but there is like underlying tensions because everyone is trying to adjust and everyone is trying to make space and everyone is trying, because for example Pana, she says to her sister-in-law who has come from America, Mahnur, she says that okay, if your daughter has special food needs, then you prepare her food. I can do food for the rest of the family, and it's a lot of people. She says, oh no, I don't want to mess up your kitchen system. She says, no, it's not a problem, you can do, because what if I make a mistake or something, because it's
she said we will give you a menu kind of something.
She said yes, I will bring you everything. I will give you all the money.
Also the money.
That was the insulting part.
That was the
So she just shared this with her husband, not as a complaint. Actually, her husband was like, no, tell me. So she said, she said this and I didn't like it.
Her husband then got angry actually about this.
He got more sensitive. So we can see that he is more sensitive to this. Then he tells his mother tells her other son, the other son tells his wife, and So it's like, whenever, by the way, it's actually very true. If you talk directly, it's not as bad. But when it comes to you from all these people, things misunderstanding.
Because people say you could have said this to my face, like why are you saying from my behind, like why are you saying like that? So
true. Exactly, and that happens. We see that. So we see a tension between the two sisters-in-law, tension between the two brothers, American brother and the Pakistani brother. Then we see tension between Wali and Sameer, their sons, because they're sharing the room. Sameer blackmails Wali because he overhears talking to his babe, his girlfriend. So he said, now I recorded this and I will show this to your father if you don't do as I say. So we see that. And another thing we noticed that the Sulaiman and Panha, the parents in Pakistan, their relationship is actually nice. But the ones who came from America, Jahangir and Mahnur, Suhaira Nadeem,
their relationship is
there's a lot of tension between them. True. They are fighting in front of their kids all the time. And by the way, the mother still believes that the father will not be able to adjust in Pakistan. We are gonna go back, but we will see what will happen. So this Wali has a lot of attitude, I think, but also poor Wali is being annoyed. And
he was playing guitar. Like then he has of course girlfriend, he understood. I mean, there are like this dynamics are actually, it's very different, I guess, from United States, like America. You are coming to Pakistan, of course. It's hard to adjust. It's hard to adjust. And like so many things. For example, when they first came, as I remember, they weren't eating anything, right? They were just sitting. We don't eat this, or we don't drink this. They were
I don't drink any sodas. Health conscious, very new gen type. So all these things. Just last thing I will like to mention is, because he's our main character, the boy Wali, he has very like some tension with his father. His father wants him to do medicine. He wants to go into music. So of course the old story of Asian parents kind of forcing their children. By the way, here I will say, if you see my curtain moving, it's my Billy who's doing this. So this is our Billy's debut. Her name is Pluty, our cat. So she is moving our curtains and running around right now. We usually lock her in the room, but right now she's free. So if you see any movement, which you're like, guys, your house is haunted. It's not haunted.
It's Pluty.
It's Pluty. So there is that tension of, like, you should be a doctor. He wants to be a musician. He brought his guitar, but I don't think he kind of hid it from his father and brought his guitar to Pakistan, right?
True. He was hiding. Also, he said to Samir, I guess, also don't tell anyone, kind of. And we maybe saw in trailer or somewhere, he was playing, I guess, with also streaming. He was doing something, I guess, like maybe he wants to do, because in music, he wants to do like study. So I guess that was the thing, but the father doesn't want that medicine because he's thinking.
So very desi parent thought process, because you think that music and
still
arts
I will say, like, if I rate this show,
let's rate. How do we recommend this show?
I will recommend, actually, honestly, but Dayan, again, I will say it's better than Dayan. Definitely. So I will just say that I don't want to complain about Dayan every time, each time, but like, still I will say you can give it a try for like Parwarish.
For me, it's
not Parwarish.
Parwarish.
Parwarish. The name was. Sorry.
For one thumbs up, I definitely recommend watching because the dynamics are very interesting. Even though some things, it's like predictable in the sense these exist, but they've done it very nicely. Not over the top, not very in your face, like da 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 narazgis. You know, usually it's so. I don't know what's the word, but too raw or rough. Here it's more refined. It's actually more realistic to me.
Yeah.
And I feel like they will talk more about the new generation's problems and things, which will be nice to see how they do. Just before we go, there is one moment where the two characters are main lead girl and they meet by colliding into each other and they just kind of fight again.
तो ये hypocrisy की smile खत्म नहीं होती.
Excuse me? Like, you are so battamiz, she says to him, and he says, you have no sense, and he insults Pakistan, and she's like, who are you insulting the whole country? So it was kind of interesting. So yeah, I think definitely do give it a watch and give us your feedback.
Yeah.
What do you think? So that's it.
That's it with the Parwarish.
Now moving on to Erdem's favorite, that face.
I'm joking. Some people might like, and some people maybe like really like
but it's not
enjoying the show.
Cup of tea.
Yeah, it's not, of course, but still we are gonna review because we are watching and we are giving, what can I say, respect to the show and the producers, director, everyone. So we will continue right now with Dayan. We are like.
I think I am now enjoying Dayan more because how much it's torturing Erdem. So I'm enjoying it more. So moving on to Dayan. So Erdem, since you love this show, why don't you share your thoughts about Dayan? I will first maybe tell you scene so you can remember.
No, of course.
Yeah. So we saw that Nihal listened to Noori, which was a bad idea, and she went and talked to Zavarsha. She said, Zavarsha, I am your, not Zavarsha, Sai or whatever, she says that I am your wife, so you should fulfill my rights, you should protect me. Where is she getting all this confidence from? She can't talk to anyone. Suddenly she's talking to, because Noori was able to persuade her. So that seemed a little out of character for me, for the girl Nihal, to just go to Zavarsha and demand her rights. Like, okay, she didn't like demand like
but
this.
Noori was forcing her to go, right?
Yes, Noori forced her. And why Noori? What is up with you? Why are you trying to live your own dreams through Nihal? I don't understand that. I am just a little pissed at Noori. I don't understand. So she's serving food and Zavarsha is basically like, excuse me, who do you think you are? You know, he insults her and he sends her away. So then okay, again, thanks to Noori, I would like to say, the very perverted brother-in-law of Zavarsha, Amir, sees what's her name, Noori, and he says that send another servant to my room with water.
But specific to Nihal actually,
she says, okay, I can come or something if you want. She's like, no, you are very busy, send Nihal with water to my room.
Yeah.
She is like, what? Okay. And then she goes and brings Nihal, takes her to Amir's room. Then he says, okay, you now leave. Amir signed.
Why are you here?
Why are you here? You now leave. Now, of course, it's very sensible what is going to happen. Like, and instead of going informing everyone, because Noori is not loyal to these people, she is shown to be loyal to Zavarsha and especially to Shabab. So why is she? Also, she is thinking of Nihal. So why is she doing this? Anyways, she leaves Amir with Nihal alone in his room.
Yeah.
First of all, where he puts his wife's frame down.
True. He locks the room.
He locks the room and she's like backing off like what? What did you think of that scene? Because one more thing I will say before you say. Actually you say. What did you think of the rationality of that scene?
Of course, it's like disturbing. I didn't like the scene, of course, for sure. But like, I mean, this was expected actually from him also. He was like, before also he kind of did these things. He was like going to Nihal and
my cat is hanging off the curtain. Sorry for the interruption. She gets very energetic.
Yes, at this house.
She gets possessed. Pluty, no, come. Let's say hi to the world. Okay, later maybe. Sorry.
No, I was saying like it was expected, like because he was gonna do something like this, like a cheap move, maybe something move I can say. So
Very,
and what did he think also? Like
yeah,
he's gonna,
in his own room.
yeah,
In the house full of people.
full of people.
Yes. So what happens is that then the other brother-in-law, his name is Javed, he sees them through the window. And he basically captures and he smashed himself. Ha ha ha. So basically then Noori is thinking to herself, okay, time is moving, what should I do and stuff. So she runs to Zavarsha and she says that something has happened, and then everyone goes into the room. Everyone is there, and again Nihal gets a thappad. I don't know thappad number 100 this is. If we keep account, I think we should make an editing of all the thappad scenes. Tha 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 tha. Again from Fawzia, the older sister, the wife of Amir, she slaps Nihal. I am so tired of these slaps. Anyway, so of course everyone blames Nihal, of course, as if, I mean, okay, Nihal. And then Zavarsha says, yes, she also came to me in the afternoon to talk these things. And when I didn't listen to her, so she probably went to Amir.
him.
I mean, what? You are her husband. I'm sure, you have a very perverted brother-in-law.
Yeah.
So, how did you connect these two? Okay, we accept because she came to you, then you... But... I don't know. I'm just... and then the other brother-in-law says, yes, see, I have video evidence.
Yeah,
she forced herself.
Directly and anyway, also that scene wasn't showing actually, like
she forced
him to,
it was
or
he
she
forcing.
came like, actually he was pulling her more.
Yeah, he said, yes, look, how can you tell by a picture that if she was forcing or he was forcing? And actually more it looked like he was forcing, because that was true. So how did they deduce?
I also don't know really.
So these things are very over the top and not very realistic, but we have to accept these things. So again, now Nihal's character has been put into question. So she is locked into her room. The lock is thrown away. No one is allowed in her room. And Shabab again somehow is like, Zavarsha. And then next episode happens and she just leaves the house temporarily. She is going. So then what we see is that I think all wives, like I said, do know their husband. So Fawzia, I think, is aware that
actually she said also.
Yeah.
Yes, she said this, like I'm sure actually you did this, like
to her husband Amir.
Yeah, so of course she knows actually his, like her husband, of course.
Yes.
Yeah.
But she basically it serves her agenda to blame Nihal, so she blames Nihal.
Yeah.
And then we see some flashbacks of Nihal and Hunain, which I kind of was thinking that they should have shown their scenes more in the beginning. But anyways, we are seeing more in flashback that they have had some kind of relationship. So as I said, Shabab leaves. Then what happens is that her mother comes to visit her, but Zavarsha doesn't allow, so she goes back. Then Noori finally...
I will just say the guard is actually like everyone is like he's accepting. Like, otherwise, sir will be mad. So come, auntie, no, do not sit there and so, because it happened with the father also. Same thing happened now with the mother. Like,
what kind of a guard are you? First ask inside. Is this person allowed in? That's what a guard does. He tells on the phone, like, sir, madam, this person is outside, should I allow them in?
Definitely.
So especially in this kind of house. So what happens is that Amir brings food to Nihal in the room again. How did he sneak in?
He opened the lock, then he was like, there are so many people around.
It's such a full house with servants and guards. And
just in one scene, Noori was actually bringing some food to her. So try it.
And she couldn't.
But she couldn't because the other sister of stopped.
But Amir brought.
So how did this happen?
Yes. Amir brought, and then the other servant came, so he couldn't continue with his whatever plans he had, so he left again. So this is all. Just one last thing. Noori she is feeling guilty. She goes to Zavarsha and she tells him that she tells the whole story to Zavarsha, right? Which they don't, she doesn't, like the scene goes silent. So she tells all the stories because she's feeling guilty, I guess, also, and also very sorry for Nihal. So she tells Zavarsha the truth of what happened, but why, Noori, did you take this much time? I don't know. And then she also brings Nihal's mother again, and Nihal's mother says, okay, let's run away. Why don't you just come with me? She says, oh, you only care for your husband. But she says, no, I care for you. Let's go away. I will take you from here. These people are so cruel. But then Nihal says, no, I have to first clean my character. Like, I need to clean this blame from myself. I didn't do anything.
जाओ यहाँ से, अब ये मेरा घर है और मैं यहीं रहूंगी.
So she says, why are you staying? These people don't give a damn. I mean, so this self-sacrificial, she says, I'm married. So basically that's all. So the new thing in this show is another thing that Nihal is suffering through is another thappad from Fauzia. And another character assassination, kind of like by the brother-in-law.
But so, is it like maybe not spoiler? I mean, I will just say in the next upcoming episode, this time Tapper will go to Amir.
Yeah. So both brother-in-laws will be like, I mean, both tried scheming, and so basically they are showing that Nihal will suffer so much, and then she's gonna come back as what? Dayan. So I'm just waiting for that. So yeah, because it will be justified, then she taking her revenge, because these people are just gonna basically, I feel like, kill her. Then she's gonna have a rebirth. Again, I have this theory, but we will see. So that's it, guys, for our reviews today. We loved and will miss Meem Se Mohabbat, but looking forward to how these dramas go. Do share your feedback to us. Do subscribe to us. But we are not yet done with you guys, because we have
word of the day.
Word of the day. Today's word, Erdem, is khushi, because we are very happy that Meem Se Mohabbat ended very well, and also because Talha says to Roshi that you brought happiness into my life. So khushi, what is khushi in Turkish?
Happiness is in Turkish mutluluk.
Mutluluk.
Yes, mutluluk.
So if I want to say I am very happy today, we will say
I am ben mutluyum.
Mutluyum.
But it's like the happiness is mutluluk.
Yes, happiness mutluluk. Happy is mutlu.
Yeah, joy moments, or we can say mutluluklar. Like it's like plural.
Yes. So mutlu is such a cute word. Mutlu. So it's a happy word, and it means happy. Yeah. So that's nice. So that's all.
That's all. We are just wishing everyone to be happy, inshallah, in their life.
Mutlu ol.
Yeah, mutlu olun.
Mutlu olun. Be happy.
Yes.
Yeah. Mutlu olun for everyone, right? Yes. Yeah. Mutlu ol is just for one person. Be happy, right?
Kind of.
Yes.
Yeah.
So yes, that's all from me and my Turkish Mia. We will see you guys soon. Have a nice weekend.
Yeah.
Bye bye.
Bye bye. Hudafiz.
Thanks for watching. Like,
share,
subscribe.
This is so girly.
No, it isn't.